Good morning, coaches. How are you doing? Happy Wednesday. It is Sinai Floyd here, business breakthrough coach and sales mentor. And in this quick download, I want to talk to you about what's missing. Because that's a big question that comes up, what am I missing? I get asked that a lot when people come to me because they're doing everything that they've been told they should be doing in order to attract and enroll clients from the online space. And yet they've been doing it, they've been showing up, they've been posting, sharing their message, and yet nothing seems to be happening. Nothing is working. And that kind of state, that situation, that life situation, that circumstance can really kickstart a sense of panic, stress, anxiety. And, I get people that are at that point, at the brink of thinking, this isn't working. It's clearly not for me, even though it's their passion and they feel it in their heart that it's their purpose. They think, do you know what? Perhaps this business of being in business just isn't for me. And they literally come on the brink of throwing in the towel because, if that feels like you, that resonates with you, you've probably invested so much in different courses, business building courses, different programs to help you. So I want to give you 3 key reasons why things aren't working right now. And this applies if you have been in your business for a while and maybe you have had some clients, you have had some success in your business, but it feels like suddenly the business is flatlined or suddenly it's stopped, and that can have you really backpedaling furiously, thinking, what's changed, what's gone wrong, what am I missing? So it's really looking at that state of being and focusing on what of these 3 reasons could be the cause to that kind of ceasing of client and cash flow. And if you're new to your business and you've yet to kind of get on top of attracting and enrolling clients on a consistent basis, then there may be some stuff in here for you too, because it might be that your messaging is off point, or there's something that you're around your mindset. So this is going to be really important for you to hear as well. So I've given a clue to what the issues are. There are 3 key issues that I identify. The first one is your message. So I'm going to talk about these all individually in a second, but the first one is your message. The second one is around mindset. And the third one is around money blocks. So I really want you to hear the third one, because this is one that has really been a game changer for me. They all have for me and my clients in business, but the third one is one that's kind of little known, little talked about. And there's one that comes up time and time again for my clients, that once they shift that, it's an incredible kind of transformation. So the 3 key reasons why things aren't working are your messaging, your mindset, and money blocks. So let's take each of those individually. So the first thing is around your message. If you're not attracting clients and getting the cash flow consistently in your business, then it could be down to, and it could be all 3, it's not, these aren't mutually exclusive. It could be a blend, but the first one is that your messaging is not on point, that it's not resonating with people. Maybe it's too bland, too blanket, as in too broad, and you're trying to kind of attract too many different types of people, or it's not on point enough to attract your ideal client. And when your messaging isn't working, when it's not resonating, when it's not on point, that really is a reflection of a lack of clarity and alignment in you. So you'll notice that anything that is an effect, that is is an effect, a result, it always dials back to a cause which is internal. So when your messaging isn't resonating, when your messaging isn't capturing the attention of people and having them reach out to you saying, oh my God, it's like you were talking to me. Are you in my head right now? Which is what, I get, and a lot of my clients get now, is because their messaging is on point. So if you're not getting that, your messaging's not resonating with people, it's a reflection of your lack of clarity and alignment with who you serve, the problem you solve, what makes you the standout, unique, credible expert in your niche. So all of that just needs tweaking and fine tuning, because when you know exactly who you serve and you can articulate where they are at right now, the struggle, the pain, And you can articulate where they want to go and your bridge, which is your program, your offer. And you can articulate that bridge that joins where they are now to where they want to be. When you have all of that down pat and clear and you're aligned with it, that will shift your messaging. It will create a different energy as well when you show up, because you have that internal clarity, that internal alignment with your passion and your purpose. You understand who it is you're talking to. You understand what your unique proposition is, what your unique gift is, what where in your story your message emerges from. All of that, when you have all of that nailed on, not only will your messaging be really on point and will resonate with your dream clients and attract them to you, but you will also feel energetically shifted. Because when you're aligned with your passion and your purpose, that is an internal shift. It changes how you show up. When you're talking to somebody who's really passionate about what they're talking about, their subject, what they love to do, doesn't it change your energy? Don't they kind of create a state change in you? That's how you show up when you have that clarity and alignment with what you're here to do. And even yesterday I was talking to one of my clients, Elizabeth, and she was telling me, when I wake up in the morning, I'm so excited to get on with my day. And she was having a conversation with somebody saying, oh God, it's Monday, back to work. She was like, I can't wait for Mondays. I can't wait to start, working in my business again. So you have that real shift when you have alignment with your passion and purpose. And that is what happens and is a reflection of you dialing into your message. So it creates such a state change. So your message is the first thing that you've got to think about as a potential reason why the clients and the cash isn't flowing into your business on a consistent basis. The second thing is your mindset. So this, you've heard the saying, what you focus on, where your focus goes, energy flows, what you focus on expands, all of that stuff. So if you are beating the drum of this isn't working, if you're beating the drum of where are my clients, then this literally is the situation that you're perpetuating. And if you're starting to kind of go down the tunnel of stress and anxiety and panic, then that stressful energy, that sense of desperation is infusing everything you do, which will mean it doesn't matter what you do externally, what action you take. If it's infused with panic and stress and anxiety, then that puts out a fuzzy frequency. It doesn't attract what you want. It just attracts more to be stressed about, more to feel anxious about. So you're kind of caught, and you will stay stuck longer if you don't shift your mindset around what you are focusing on. So what helps here, and what is a real game changer here, is so Emma, because I'm not focused on it. You've got to focus on what it is you want. So focus on the full discovery call calendar, focus on clients coming in, focus on sharing a powerful message that will make a difference in the world. So what I find really helpful, and what is, again, a game changer for my clients, is installing daily disciplines, daily rituals that will shift what you focus on. It's like you're retraining your brain and rewiring your brain, turning on your reticular activating system to bring in and notice and observe and acknowledge more of what it is you want. Hey, Anjana Hun. So by creating these daily disciplines and rituals, like I said, that will create new neural pathways that will enable you to really just, even if you're faking it in the early stages, you're kind of creating a state change around you that will, as you start to notice more of a match to your state, you start to change from belief to a deep knowing. So daily disciplines include things like affirmations, meditation, being silent, tapping into your intuition. It includes journaling. All of these types of activities will shift your state and shift your focus. Or should I say shift your focus first, which then shifts your state. And if you do that over a period of time, it actually creates a cellular level change that then changes the frequency through which you're vibrating at, and will attract more of that good stuff back to you. So all of that is really key. Another thing that just I want to say around your daily disciplines is to include physical activity, physical exercise. When you move the body, it's like you're releasing stress. It literally releases that negative, stuck, dense energy that is perpetuating a state that you don't want to perpetuate. So the other day I was listening to somebody talking about, it was Eckhart Tolle, actually, I've just remembered. He was talking about watching ducks on a pond, and he was saying, you see these ducks and they're just being ducks, they're just, they're gliding around, they're looking really serene on this pond. And he says occasionally there'll be a clash and ducks will fight. They'll have a short burst, and then as they float away, as they swim away from each other after that confrontation is over, they flap their wings aggressively. So they just have a really big flap. What they're doing is they're releasing that energy. Unlike us who mentate, we tell the story over and over again and we keep it within us. So also including in your daily discipline a period of like jumping up and down. I'm a runner. I go running every morning to kind of release any unwanted energy, release any stuckness, and that it's a game changer for me. And I know when I haven't been running, I really feel it. I feel the difference. So ensure that as part of your daily disciplines, you do include some physical, cardiovascular, some movement to shift any stuck, dense energy. Okay, so the third one that I want to talk about, which is huge, is our money blocks. Money blocks come in all shapes and sizes. If you've been making money in your business and suddenly it feels like the plug has been pulled on your cash flow, it could be that you've hit an unconscious upper limit. It could be that you've breached a set point that is your comfort zone. Now, this happened to me in my second year in business in 2016. I've told this story before, but in 2016, I was having a great time. I was making consistent money in my business, some months 8,000 to 10,000, and that was pretty consistent for a good sort of 10, 11 months. September 2016, I made £17,000 in 1 month. I've never, ever, ever made any amount like that in my life before. What I didn't know at the time was that I'd breached my upper limit, completely breached my upper limit. I didn't know this stuff at the time, but what happened then was for the next 4 months, nothing came into my business, not a penny. No client, no leads. I didn't get any leads, no matter what I was doing. And this was 4 months on the trot. So you can imagine I was absolutely desperate. I didn't know what was happening. I was backpedaling, like looking over my posts, thinking, what turned people off? And it was like I suddenly became invisible. And it wasn't until sort of the end of month 4, beginning of month 5, where I had a conversation with a coach and it created this breakthrough realization. That's what had happened. I breached an upper limit. It was a money block that had blocked the flow completely. And when I did the deep work on clearing those money blocks, that's when things started flowing in again. And within 2 weeks of clearing the money block, I had a 13K week. So you can see the difference and how important clearing your money blocks are when it comes to being successful in business. Now, there is something that I've recognized more recently that is prevalent actually in the female psyche in relation to being financially successful in business. And having that state of being financially successful in business is actually being incongruent with being essentially lovable. So this is huge because, you think about, I'm in my mid 40s. I'm 46 next month. Generation X. Now, as Generation X's, we have these archetypes that have been burned into our psyche around this inability and this incongruence between being a successful businesswoman, being wealthy, and being lovable and being able to sustain a lovable relationship. And actually, I see this all the time. The words on screen said you'd breached your apple in it. Oh, breached my apple. Yeah, my upper limit. So what's really interesting about this particular block to financial success is this incongruence between being able to be successful and also being able to be lovable. And if you think about some of our childhood stories or the characters that are portrayed in the films, there are not many role models of women who are financially successful business women who are also successful in love. So, just to take some really extreme examples from our childhood kind of, not cartoons, the stories of, say Cinderella. She was so lovable. She was the poor sister, sweeping the floors, cooking, the downtrodden, but how inherently lovable was she? She won the prince. And you've got Snow White, she's taking care of the home fires for her 7 dwarfs. She's inherently lovable. But then on the other extreme, you've got characters like Cruella de Vil, who is a wealthy, successful businesswoman. She kills puppies. It's like this incongruence between the successful women, business women, and lovability. And you look at films, Miranda Priestley in The Devil Wears Prada. I mean, inherently successful, massively successful, but should I say massively successful, inherently unlovable. She's a cruel, cold woman. Her relationships suck. And then you've got the character played by Anne Hathaway, who has this beautiful relationship. But as you see her getting more successful in her career, what happens to the relationship? It's so interesting. And now I'm seeing this everywhere with my clients when they come to me, that as the business starts growing, they start having issues in their relationship, or vice versa. When the relationship is thriving, the business starts to flatline. And I've experienced this myself, and it's taken a lot for me to kind of work through this stuff and not sabotage my relationships because of, I'm growing a successful business, or vice versa. So you've got to really understand that these things that are burned into our psyche create such an impact. We self-sabotage because we don't want to be unlovable. So therefore, we've got to sabotage the business, or we want to be lovable, and therefore we can't be successful in business. And just another example that's popped into my head is the women on Dragon's Den, the panel of Dragon's Den. They're ball breakers, aren't they? Essentially, the women on Dragon's Den, or whether they portray that, but they feel perhaps that they have to portray this ball breaking image to win that position. So it's crazy. And yet these patterns, these paradigms, Sophia, that create a state that stops us from really stepping into our power and creating the success and that continuity and that consistency in our business and us in our romantic relationships. And this has been my belief from childhood. My mum was a homemaker, but all the time she was at home, she was studying because she was ambitious, she wanted to be a successful career woman. So when I turned 12, 13, an opportunity arose for her for a very successful company, a Japanese company in London. She took that opportunity. We lived 200 miles from London. So it meant she commuted Monday to Friday. She lived in London, and at the weekend she came home. That arrangement did not last. My parents ended up separating because it didn't last. It's not what my dad wanted. My mum wanted the career. She couldn't have both. That was the belief that I then adopted, that if you want a successful career, you sacrifice your love relationship, your marriage, your family. So you can really see this is one of my stories that I had to do a lot of work around. So that's a key money block that has I see with my clients. When we do the work, we break the pattern. Happy to see it starting to dissolve around kind of the next generation of girls. And I have a 17-year-old daughter, and I know her attitudes are changing. She has new role models. So yeah, it's just being so aware of this third reason. So like I said, the first reason that things may not be flowing for you is your messaging. The second thing is your mindset, what you're focusing on, and the disciplines that you're applying daily. But this third issue is your money blocks, your money story about whether you can, how you feel about money. What does wealth mean to you? What does it trigger in you as subconscious beliefs? Because that will stop you. So okay, guys, so that's my message for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. So Sophia's saying, yeah, that arrangement has impacted me. I had to do a lot of clearing on that. So Emma, I've just qualified as a teacher and assessor, exit interview from course tonight, job interview tomorrow morning, next step learning support and then lecturer when a job becomes available. Well, congratulations, all the best to you. It's going to be amazing. It's great how it's different for the next generation. Absolutely, Natalie. I see it now in my daughter and even my son. They are different people. They have different sets of beliefs, and and that's all down to kind of us as a generation breaking those paradigms for our daughters. All right then, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Bye for now.